morning, everyone. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So the first thing I want to dive right into is H-1B cap season. H-1B cap season is officially over. Late Friday afternoon, USCIS officially announced that it has enough applications in-house to meet the 65,000 regular H-1B cap and 20,000 for the H-1B master's cap. So they will not be running another lottery because they say that they have enough applications in-house in order to meet those numbers, meet the cap numbers. So if you haven't figured out and or started to implement your Plan B, now is the time to do so. Plan B will look different for everybody, so no two cases are the same. Just keep that in mind. A Plan B that may work for your friend may not work for you. A Plan B that may work for the employee that you wanted may not work for your friend, may not work the same as your friend at another company. So please, if you haven't figured out your Plan B or you haven't started to implement yet, please consult someone that can help you with that. My office is more than happy to help and have those conversations. We have been doing that this entire cap season. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the August visa bulletin. So the visa bulletin comes out every month. It essentially tells us where you stand in line when you are applying for a green card, whether you are applying for a green card through employment or through family. So I'm going to focus on some of the changes and movement for the employment side of the visa bulletin coming up in August. So let's see here. We've got EB3 final action date will advance by about a month, while all other EB3 countries will remain the same in August. So we've seen some movement, some not, some with no movement. And the thing I like to say about the visa bulletin is it giveth and it taketh away. So it's generally constantly in flux. Sometimes when it goes backwards, we're very unhappy. Sometimes when it goes forwards, we're usually pretty happy. But it is a moving, living document each month, as we know. We will see in August EB2 final action dates will in fact go backwards or retrogress by about 6 weeks for all the countries except for India and for China. And the other thing that I really wanted to mention about the August visa bulletin is the State Department has said that perhaps we may have unavailability in EB2, EB3, and EB5 lasting all the way to the end of September. And so that sounds horrible. And so no one likes when the visa bulletin doesn't move or when it goes backwards. We especially don't like when things become unavailable. However, September is the last month for the fiscal year. So generally we tend to see things really slowing down in that last month of the fiscal year, which is September, and then we'll get a new visa bulletin in October, and then we tend to see a little bit more movement come October. So Department of State has sort of said that may happen with EB2, EB3, and EB5 may become unavailable in September. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I for one appreciate that, that update and that sort of look into the future. But we'll keep you updated on that if indeed that does happen. The next thing I want to talk to y'all about is PERM. So PERM applications are the first step for many folks when it comes to applying for an employment-based green card. The PERM essentially tells us where we stand in line when we are looking back at the visa bulletin. So last week, I think I talked about how in the beginning of July and most years, the Department of Labor updates the prevailing wage. So with the new system that we're using for PERM, although relatively not so new anymore, but still new in terms of a tech system, the new flag system, which is a Department of Labor system that we use for our prevailing wages, as well as to file the PERMs, updated with a new set of wages. So every year the wages essentially go up and or change. So the perm system, the flag system, allows us when we're doing the perms to automatically pull the wage from the prevailing wage determination. So it's not something that we have to manually input anymore. Sounds good. Sounds like it's a little bit more efficient, although right now it's not. So we've been hearing reports from colleagues that the flag system is not automatically pulling the wage from an already determined prevailing wage determination from the Department of Labor if in July that wage went up in that specific area. So we are left right now with reaching out directly to Department of Labor using that helpline email and saying, hey, this is not pulling the right wage. So it's on a case-by-case situation. They haven't come up with sort of a universal fix for this yet. I believe they're working on it. Hopefully they're working on it. Hopefully we'll have a fix fast. So my crystal ball, which is admittedly a little rusty right now, a little cloudy, I predict that the next issue in this not pulling of the correct wage will be perms that couldn't be filed by the deadline as a direct result of the system not pulling the correct wage. So if and when that happens, I will keep you updated on it. I will keep you updated on this issue in general, but I wanted to alert y'all to that because it's kind of a big issue. So the next and really the last thing that I have for us this Monday morning is we have at USCIS a new director has been confirmed through Senate nomination, and that is Joseph Edlow. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. I think it's Edlow, Joseph Edlow. So we will have we now have a new USCIS director. And this happens every year. Not every year. It happens every time we have an election and the White House changes hands. That new president has the opportunity to put in place a new number one and number two in each federal agency. So this is not something new. It's not something different. It happens every single time the White House changes hands. And so for USCIS, we now have seen where Joseph Edlow has been confirmed and will be the new head or number one at USCIS. So we'll keep you up to date on anything new that Mr. Edlow may come out with in his first months holding that office. But again, if y'all have any questions about your employment-based immigration or your family-based immigration as well, feel free to reach out. We are here to help you. If you've got questions about what is your plan B, if you've got questions about you're working on your perm and you're not quite sure how that should be working, or you've got questions on the visa bulletin, which can sometimes be very confusing, feel free to reach out. We are happy to help. And again, I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. Have a great Monday, the rest of your Monday, and a great rest of your week.